Good evening. I'm glad to be back with you again tonight. We're going to continue our reading of John Bunyan's The Pilgrim's Progress. When we left off last week, Christian was at a safe place in a lodging that had been provided by God for weary travelers on their journey to the celestial city. And he had just been in conversation with three characters that he met there whose names were Prudence, Piety, and Charity. So we pick up after that conversation now. It says, "Now I saw in my dream that thus they sat talking together until supper was ready. So when they had made ready, they sat down to meat," or to eat. "Now the table was furnished with fat things, and with wine that was well refined. And all their talk at the table was about the Lord of the hill, as namely, about what he had done, and wherefore he did what he did, and why he had builded that house. And by what they said, I perceived that he had been a great warrior, and had fought with and slain him that had the power of death, but not without great danger to himself, which made me love him all the more. For as they said, and as I believe," said Christian, "he did it with the loss of much blood. But that which put glory of grace into all he did was that he did it out of pure love to his country. And besides, there were some of them of the household that said they had been and spoke with him since he did die on the cross. And they have attested that they had it from his own lips, that he is such a lover of poor pilgrims, that the like is not to be found from the east to the west. They, moreover, gave an instance of what they affirmed, and that was he had stripped himself of his glory, that he might do this for the poor, and that they might heard him say and affirm that he would not dwell in the mountain of Zion alone. They said, moreover, that he had many pilgrim princes, though by nature they were beggars born, and their original had been the dunghill. Thus they discoursed together till late at night, and after they had committed themselves to their Lord for protection, they betook themselves to rest. The pilgrim they laid in a large upper chamber, whose window opened towards the sun rising. The name of the chamber was Peace, where he slept till break of day, and then he awoke and sang, 'Where am I now? Is this the love and care of Jesus for the men that pilgrims are, thus to provide that I should be forgiven and dwell already the next door to heaven?' So in the morning they all got up, and after some more discourse, they told him that he should not depart till they had shown him the rarities of that place. And first they had him into the study, where they showed him records of the greatest antiquity, in which, as I remember my dream, they showed him first the pedigree of the Lord of the hill, that he was the son of the Ancient of Days, and came by that eternal generation. He also was more fully recorded the acts that he had done, and the names of many hundreds that he had taken into his service, and how he had placed them in such habitations that could neither by length of days nor decays of nature be dissolved. Then they read to him some of the worthy acts that some of the servants had done, as how they had subdued kingdoms, wrought righteousness, obtained promises, stopped the mouths of lions, quenched the violence of fire, escaped the edge of the sword, out of weakness were made strong, waxed valiant in fight, and turned to flight the armies of the aliens."